Warning, the brown cloud is approaching. Some will try to outrun it. Others may not be so lucky. But don't worry, it's all part of the fun at the Chili Cook-Off for books and board games. Where the chili is hot, the flavors are bold, and Bear E has your back with the official Brown Cloud Preparedness Kit. Follow the plan, know your exits, and whatever you do, hold your breath, because this temporary pain is all for a great cause. Join us, laugh with us, survive the brown cloud, together at Key Largo Lounge in Greeley.
Join us November 8th at 11 a.m. for the 10th annual Chili Cook-Off for books and board games at our home field, Key Largo Lounge, where our small market team is making a huge statement. Scan the code for tickets and sponsorship information.
Today we get to welcome a leader who doesn't just build systems, he builds momentum, clarity, and confidence. Please help me celebrate Jordan Templeton Harris, founder and president of Fitzgerald Built, as the newest member of our community Pay It Forward giving family. He doesn't operate as a vendor, he operates as a force multiplier, a strategic partner who helps leaders. Whether an organization is growing, transforming, or trying to get unstuck, Jordan brings the operational intelligence and accountability that turn ideas into measurable outcomes. And now, he's chosen to stand with us, to make sure no one has to face a difficult moment alone. That's what makes this partnership special. That's what makes Jordan family. Please visit his profile, share his badge, and help us welcome him the way only this community can. Welcome to the family, Jordan. We're honored to walk this mission with you.
Hey friends, I've been thinking, we all have our strengths, right? There are things I'm great at and things I'm definitely not great at. I can talk to anyone, anywhere, but ask me to add something to a website or an app. Yeah, that's where things get a little messy. Oops, I love speaking, I love sharing stories. But social media, all those hashtags, algorithms, trends, that's a jungle I still haven't mapped out. Now, coming up with ideas that bring people together, that's my sweet spot. But bookkeeping, let's just say numbers, and I have agreed to stay in separate corners. And you know what? That's okay, because someone out there is good at those things. And when we work together, that's when the magic happens. Community Pay It Forward has never been about one person. It's a program built by many to support even more. Every single one of us brings something special to the table. We all have talents that make us strong on our own. But imagine how powerful we become when we combine them. That's the heart of Community Pay It Forward. Your skills, my skills, our hearts, working side by side to make a real difference. So tell me, what are you good at? Let's discover it together. Visit communitypayitforward.us and join the movement.
Good morning, Community Pay It Forward. How are you all doing today? And hello to all my friends on Things Network. It is Monday, which means it's time for Footprints Forward. It's also the first of the month, which means we're going to be talking about the celebrations that different cultures have during the month of July. Because July arrives like a burst of sunlight. It's a month filled with heritage, hope, and courage. Creativity and celebrations that remind us how beautifully different and deeply connected our world truly is. Today we explore July through the traditions that shape communities across the globe. Each one carries a story, each one carries a lesson, and each one gives us a chance to reflect on what we celebrate, what we remember, and what we hope for. But before I begin our journey, I want to share something special happening right here at home. We're excited to invite you to Jim's Journey, which is dear friends of ours at Dignified Dementia. They have their Jim's Journey program going on the 16th of July. So, a community celebration filled with food, drinks, games, and a fantastic silent auction, all in support of Dignified Dementia. Discounted tickets are available through July 9th, and you can grab yours by using the QR code on the flyer or by visiting dignifieddementia.org/JJ. Once again, that's dignifieddementia.org/JJ. You'll see the flyer on the screen right now representing Jim's Journey. If any of you guys have heard me talking to Jennifer Deserich, Jim was her father, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago due to the scourge of dementia. And she's, since the diagnosis, she's been working to try to make the effects of dementia on the family lessen, which is a very difficult job. This year we are especially thrilled to share Jim's signature beer, Feelin' Berry Good, crafted during our beer brewing experience at Flight Co. Tower in May. It's a fun and meaningful tribute you will not want to miss. Please, space is limited and getting tickets early helps us plan accurately. So please secure your spot soon. If you're unable to attend, we would still be grateful for your support through a donation at donorbox.org/JimsJourney. Once again, that's donorbox.org/JimsJourney. So, once again, this is just a message from our dear friend Jennifer Deserich of Dignify Dementia. Thank you for sharing this with us, Jen. I hope that we can get some many people there. That's a very, very busy week for some of us. That's when I go and get injections in my back and talk to a neck surgeon myself. So I know I will be a little busy and probably unable to attend much that week. So we're going to begin now with Celebration of Spirit with July 1st. And July 1st is one of the most important days of any day. And that's because that is NHL Hockey Free Agency Day. It's Canada Day. Nah, it's Free Agency Day. I'll celebrate Free Agency Day. I'll also celebrate Canada Day. So, Canada Day is on July 1st. Canada Day is more than just fireworks. It's unity, built one neighbor at a time. It is families gathering in parks. It is red and white pride. It's a reminder that community is not something we inherit, it's something we build. So here's your question. What does community mean to you? And what moment of kindness have you seen recently that deserves to be celebrated? Ask yourself those questions, and please leave a comment in the comments on this video. I'd love to read them. We'd love to have you share. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff and help us grow. Next, we have Gion Matsuri. It's Gion Matsuri. All through July in the prefecture of Kyoto. Gion Matsuri is 1,000 years of tradition rolling through the streets. Massive floats, ancient rituals, human resilience. It's the kind of celebration that makes you feel small in the best way possible, because you're standing inside history. What tradition in your own life deserves to be carried forward for the next generation? In other words, what is the tradition that you do that you would like to see carried forth by your children, your grandchildren, so on and so forth? That's a really good question. And, you know, I'm proud of my kids that they're doing different things. Yesterday, our son held his very first wrestling tournament over there in Japan. So he built it from the ground up and wildly successful. So we're very, very proud of Free over there. So congratulations, buddy. Yeah, other than that, you know, mine is, as always, just trying to make sure that people are helping others. So next, on July 6th through the July 14th, we have, so today through, I believe that would be, yeah, today through Tuesday of next week, we have Fermin. Fermin is energy, music, color, history. The world knows it for running of the bulls, but the heart of the celebration is courage. Communities gather year after year to honor their heritage and their strength. What gives you courage when your life gets difficult? I never understood the running of the bulls. I'll be honest with you. That is one of the things that I have never, ever aspired to do. Never. No, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that they would know that I've been eating on their relatives for a while, and they would come after me in mass numbers. No, thank you. I don't need that. So, but again, our question for Fermin is, what gives you courage when life gets difficult? Our next celebration is Tanabata, which happens on July 7th. Tanabata is a celebration of hope, wishes, tied to branches, dreams shared openly. It's gentle, it's beautiful, and it's a reminder that hope grows when we give it space to breathe. So, your question for Tanabata: if you could tie one wish to a branch today, what would you wish for? Let's think deep here. Let's try to come up with something that really matters to you. Let's see what we can do to maybe make that wish happen. Again, put it in the chat. Let's share it out and see what we can do. So, one of my favorite holidays, probably my favorite holiday, because this is the one that I got to spend most of the time with both of my sons, and that's Independence Day on July 4th. Independence Day is special to me. Because it's summer, it's warm, it's beautiful. Little hot right now, but the Grand in Greeley, we've always had the Greeley Stampede right around the 4th of July, which means that, you know, there's always been a celebration aspect of it that really makes more of it than normal, you know, holidays. Yeah, around Christmas sometimes you have like the Christmas fairs and stuff like that, but you don't have anything like you do, you know, around the 4th of July. But Independence Day, again, it's not just about the fireworks. It is about gratitude and it's about reflection. It's a chance to honor the people who protected our freedom and protect it today. It's the reminder that freedom is not guaranteed. It is a responsibility. And so your very serious question for this one, and of course, you know, we just celebrated this one over the weekend, but I think it's something that we need to concentrate on more than just one day, and especially right now. What freedom do you cherish the most? And what act of kindness will you give in return for that freedom? One of the things that we just beg our government to do is compromise, work together and compromise for certain things. Well, in the world of a compromise, somebody always walks out thinking that they got the short end of the stick, but they walk out with something. You know, schlub like me can figure that out. I don't know why the people who are working for us cannot. So, what freedom do you cherish the most, and what act of kindness will you give in return for that freedom? Please answer in the comments. Make sure you ask any other questions you have. And if we have forgotten any celebrations, please make a comment and we will get back to you. Because I would love to make sure that we're celebrating everyone and we're celebrating all cultural celebrations that we can. Next up, we have Bastille Day, July 14th. Bastille Day is the spark of liberty, the moment people stood together and said justice matters. It's a celebration of courage and the belief that people can change the world when they stand united. What modern act of courage inspires you today? We would love to know this answer. What modern act of courage inspires you today? There's a certain, I believe he was an Air Force officer who made a sacrifice of rank and freedom to make a statement, and I do, whether I believe in his message or not, I believe that he has fought for that right to do what he did, and I believe that him being charged is obscene. And I think it's pitiful that somebody can take and serve our country and they can't go and stand up when they don't believe the way that things are going is right. So that's one modern act of courage I would have to say inspires me. Please, down below, answer the question. Let us know what inspires you today. Paulo di Provenza. Polio di Provenza. July 2nd, and this is in Signa. The Palo is passion, neighborhood pride, centuries of tradition, horses thundering through the square, flags waving, voices rising. What makes your neighborhood special? And what story from your community deserves to be shared? I will tell you this, our community, we have, in which unfortunately, you know, it's lessened throughout time, but we've got a lot of history in our community. We've got, and the cool thing about like some of the newer people who are coming in is they're learning the history of the neighborhood, and they're really trying to keep or keep close to the history of the neighborhood. You know, I know Adrian is very, very much a student of the history that you know our neighborhood shares. She is very open and willing to learn about what's going on, what's happened, and why things are the way that they are. So, but we would like to hear about your neighborhood. What stories from your community deserves to be shared? I will say this, if there was a time when there were horses thundering through our neighborhood, I would not know because I would be inside, because those animals, ooh, they're spooky. They're spooky. So, Obon, celebrated in July in many parts of Japan. Obon is gentle. It is a remembrance. It's gratitude for the people who shaped us. Lanterns float. Families gathered. Stories are shared. And we'd like to know, in honor of Obon, what is one lesson you learned from someone you miss? What is one lesson you learned from someone you miss? And quite frankly, I would have to go back to the story I learned from my grandfather when he said, with tears in his eyes, that if it was not for the Russians, and this was during the height of the Cold War, so this was harder for him to say than just saying it. And my grandfather made the comment that if it were not for the Russians, we would have lost World War II. That was very hard for him to say because of all the things that were happening. My grandfather was not happy by the way that we were divided over the Cold War. So him speaking up was something, you know, that really did have a huge impact on me. And I think that is one of the reasons why the division that we hold right now is very impactful on me as well, is because of that division. I know that we don't have to agree with the way that people live to understand we need them to survive. What is one lesson that you learned from someone you miss? Please, in honor of Obon, answer in the comments. International Reggae Day, July 1st. So unfortunately we missed it, but you know what? Spin on some Bob Marley, put on the fake dreads, do the funny Trading Spaces character plays with Dan Aykroyd. No, don't do that. That's very racist. God, I just thought of that. That was funny. That was a very funny scene in that show on the train. But International Reggae Day. Reggae Day is rhythm, unity, a heartbeat that brings people together. It celebrates the global influence of Jamaican culture and the power of music. to heal and unite. So here's your question. What song lifts your spirit every single time you hear it? Oh, there are way too many. Right now, the one that gets me every time is Heart from Your Hate by Trivium. And that is just, it's a song that's very powerful to me. It's kind of funny because lyrically it's not a fantastic song. You know, it's very repeated, but just, you know, what will it take to rip the heart from your hate? I love it. I think it's important. But, you know, yeah, I'm going to have to say Trivium, Heart from Your Hate. What's the one song that lifts your spirit every day? Please, again, comment, subscribe, and answer this question for Jamaica Day, July 1st. The White Nights Festival is late June through mid-July in St. Petersburg. So this is a Russian celebration. The White Nights Festival is creativity in full daylight. Art, music, expression. It is imagination without limits. What is something you created recently that made you proud? Once again, the question for White Nights. What is something you created recently that made you proud? Well, I guess I rebuilt the fire pit. That was kind of cool. You know, designed it and put it together and all that stuff. So I guess I would have to say that's my sweet spot. Nuna Vute happens on July 9th. Nunavut Day is cultural pride, indigenous strength. Stories deserve to be heard. So what indigenous tradition do you admire or want to learn more about? And that's quite simply all of them. Any of them, all of them. Because with every indigenous group, you have different traditions. You could learn about a different one every week and never completely learn them all. So I'd love to learn about all of them. Once again, for Nunavut, what indigenous tradition do you admire or want to learn more about? July 12th is Orangeman's Day. Orangeman's Day is heritage, history, reflection. Not where I thought we were going with this. It said Orangeman. I thought we were going to be talking about Syracuse. Ah, you thought I was going to say something else. Ha 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 ha. What part of your own heritage do you wish more people understood? This could get very interesting, so let's try to be kind here. What part of your own heritage do you wish more people understood? And I would just have to say that I wish the one thing that people understood about all heritage is our heritages are different. And it's okay that they're different. My heritage does not have to affect yours at all. And it shouldn't. There's no need for it to. What part of your own heritage do you wish more people understood? Kapula Night, July 6th through 7th. Kapula Night is nature, renewal, fire and water. Where in nature do you feel most alive? I answer this one quite honestly. I tell people straight out, I am not a religious person. Religion is not my thing, but I am a very, very spiritual person. I get anywhere near the mountains and I start to go into a deeper zen. The mountains are a calming place for me. They're a place of wonder, a place of joy. By the way, to all of our wonderful firefighters who are out there busting your ass and putting your lives in danger right now to save the Colorado forest, thank you for everything you're doing. And if there's anything that we can do to support anyone who's been affected by the Colorado-Utah fires, please contact us immediately and let us get to work and see what we can do to help you. Once again, here's your question for Kapula night. Where in nature do you feel most alive? Feast of the Seven Brothers, and this is a tradition from Finland that happens on July 10th. This celebration is folklore and fun. What is the funniest weather superstition you have ever heard of? I can't really think of any, some of the misconceptions around tornadoes are always a little humorous to me. Growing up in Kansas and actually being in tornadoes, hearing some of the things that people say is really amusing. Because it's a very serious thing, and you're telling people to be aware of something that, they don't really need to worry about. If you're hearing some of the stuff that you're supposedly hearing, you should have been hidden a long time ago. Like if you hear about a cow flying through the air, I'm sorry, you need to get hidden. So, what is the funniest weather superstition you have ever heard? So I'm going to be interested in that one. Please answer in the comments. I'd love to, and that's for the Feast of the Seven Brothers. Nelson Mandela International Day is July 18th. Mandela Day is service. It's a reminder that change begins with us. It's a reminder that change is not easy. It's a reminder that making a change can cost you a lot. But it's still worth it. We ask this question every day. So knowing that Mandela Day is upcoming, I really would like to hear the answer to this question. What act of service can you give today? Please drop a comment. Share this, and let's make sure that we get everybody's act of service that they can provide. And that way, if somebody's looking for that service, maybe they can connect with them and we can make things better for someone today. On July 11th, we have World Population Day. This is a day around awareness, responsibility, and understanding. What is one change you believe would make communities stronger for future generations? Ooh, boy. This one's a little tough because I don't know how much trouble I actually want to get into on this one. What is one change you believe would make communities stronger for future generations? Look, first and foremost, the one change that has to be made for this to happen is we have to get rid of hate. We have to get rid of hate. Hate just for hate reasons. Yeah, I don't want to associate with you because you're ... I don't want to hang out with you because you're ... No, First off, that's ridiculous. And get over yourself. You're not that important. You're really not. said this to a point of nauseum, and I don't care. If you were just like me, we're not going to get along because I can't learn anything from you. I want to learn from you. You be you, I'll be me. I have no problem being me because I can't be anyone else. What is one change you believe would make community stronger for future generations? I think the other thing that I would say is we need to learn how to accept other generations. Work with the older generations to fit into the way that we do things, and then bring on the newer generations to complement what we've done with the older generations. Take and put things together in a multi-generational function. I think that is one way that we could really start understanding and believing in this. And again, I tell people, I see all this stuff. I saw another video about it yesterday and it just pissed me off. What is something that kids born before 2000 would never understand? And somebody brings up, show them a rotary phone. Who's the first person you go to every time you get a new iPhone? It ain't anybody my age. It's your kids. And that's because it was probably someone closer to their age that was starting to create this stuff. We no longer have to walk uphill both ways, knee deep in snow, because we've got other ways of transportation. We grow as we go. This is a good thing. So let's work together to make sure everyone has a part in the growth. And that goes perfectly with our next celebration, World Youth Skills Day, which is July 15th. Youth Skills Day, that one's actually kind of hard to say. So maybe I need a youth to skill my speech. Actually, I've already got that with my son. Youth Skills Day is empowerment, growth, and opportunity. Who is one young person who inspires you and why? I'm not falling for this one because I would be here all damn day. I cannot list everyone who inspires me. Every single one of my kids, every single one of our kids, every single one of our grandkids, they have something specific that inspires me. Especially Gabe, but that's because he knows everything. Gabe's a freaking genius. Just ask him. He's a good kid. He really is. Kind of funny. Talks a whole hell of a lot. He reminds me of his grandfather. Once again, who is one person who inspires you and why? Please make sure that you put a comment below, like, share, and subscribe. Lempira Day is July 12th in Honduras. Lempira Day is courage, indigenous pride, history that deserves recognition. Who is someone in your life who stood strong for what they believed in? Who is someone in your life who stood strong for what they believe in? Again, this is one that would be very, very hard for me to answer because there are so many of them. And that's all of you out there who have took that leap to start a business, and you've been working hard to make sure that business becomes something special. or that nonprofit, you're out there every day, blood, sweat, and mostly tears, trying to make sure that something comes of this. Not just because you need it to, because you know the value that other people will find in it. So, who is someone in your life who stood strong for what they believe in? St. Swithin's Day, July 15th in the United Kingdom. St. Swithin's Day is folklore and fun. What do you predict the weather will be for the next 40 days? I'm intrigued. By the way, I predict the weather for the next 40 days is going to be freaking hot. Partly because it's already freaking hot. We're going to have a couple rain showers, but not going to be near enough rain. Partly because that's the way Colorado is. Usually around 5 o'clock it rains enough to get a motorcyclist wet and get your jeans that just disgusting wet feeling. And then it turns back to 100 degrees and the exhaust and everything, you end up steaming parts of your body that you don't want steamed. What do you predict weather will be for the next 40 days? Yeah. That steam is not a lot of fun. Never volunteer to ride a motorcycle in a parade. And if you do, definitely do not pour cold water over your head because you think it's a good idea. Because it's not a good idea. Tanabata celebrations. Tanabata celebrations are worldwide. They're around July 7th. Tanabata around the world is a hope shared across cultures. So here's your question. What wish, I love this. What wish would you make for someone else today? What wish would you make for someone else today? And I'm going to end this segment by saying something very, very simple. I wish the very best for you today and always. And if there's anything that we can do here at Community Pay It Forward, please let us know. Did we miss any celebrations? Zach, Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us. Zach, Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us. Please, do not get mad. Educate. Tell us about an event. Tell us about a cultural celebration. It cannot be a celebration of hate or difference. It can be about difference, but it has to be a cultural celebration of difference where others are not left out. You have to be able to allow people to be able to get to know your culture. It's the reason I started this, is I want to learn about your culture. I want to learn who you are. I love to learn, quite simply. So, and I'd also like to remind you to please check out what we've got going on with Dignified Dementia for Jim's Journey. Jim's Journey 2026, July 16th at 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. at Flight Co Tower, which is at 3120 Unita Street in Denver. 3120 Unita Street, Uinta Street in Denver. I'm sorry, I don't know this restaurant. I don't know who they are. But please go out and celebrate our dear friends at Dignified Dementia, and you will see and let me go on ahead and turn off the the scrolling there, and there on the bottom you can see a QR code, and that's where you can get your discounted tickets to go and celebrate Jim's journey. Jim's journey is a part of Dignified Dementia, which allows them to build resources for caregivers and people who are learning to live with dementia, which hits hard. And unfortunately, it also hits without an instruction book. So it's very, very hard sometimes to understand what you're supposed to do. So please join Jennifer Deserich and Dignified Dementia on July 16th at Flight Co. Tower. Next, we got the recording correct. Thank God, because the recording before just did not work well. It had her. It actually it had her in it, but she was very. There was a lot of feedback. Let's put it that way. And my God, my phones are just ridiculous sometimes. But Jeanette Dethridge is going to be joining us next, talking about her journey with her husband with stage 4 prostate cancer and what she goes through as an individual who's bipolar and working for Mary Kay for over 40 years. So please stick around and enjoy our interview, because there's a lot of really important information in it. So, but this is Jeanette Dethridge. After we introduce you to our newest partner, Arbok International.
When the world feels heavy and the nights get long, we lift each other up, that's how we stay strong. Every act of kindness starts a chain reaction. Every step of caring turns into action. Come together, lift each other. Every neighbor, sister, brother. Hope grows louder when we share. Love grows stronger when we care. Come together, stand united. Every spark becomes ignited. Community, pay it forward. We're the light they're looking for.
Hey everyone. Let's give a huge community pay it forward welcome to Arbok International and Philip B. Arbok. For over 30 years, they've helped businesses connect across borders with world-class translation and localization services. We're so excited to partner with a company that believes in impact, inclusion, and lifting communities together. Please scan the QR code beside me and visit their profile. Show some love, and remember, when you shop with a purpose, we all win. When you do business with Arbok International, you shop with a purpose. Take a picture of the receipt and support with heart. Welcome to the Community Pay It Forward program, Philip and Arbok International. Hey everybody, how's it going? Zach Clayton with Community Pay It Forward, the Come Together Compass and Pact Podcasting Networks. I am being joined by a really good friend with a really good, really bad, and really inspirational story. All kind of mixed into one, Jeanette. Jeanette Dethridge is joining us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Already had a call this morning and I'm ready to go.
Well, that's good. That's good. First off, thank you so much for your service. You are an Air Force veteran, and that's kind of important in your story of where you're at now.
Yes, it is.
So could you please tell us about your service? You were in the Air Force for how long?
I did 3 active duty and 7 reserves, so I have 10 years. But as a reservist, I was actually called up to active duty, which was a real surprise. I should have known that would happen, but I just, we were going 2 days a month and then 2 weeks a year. And I thought that was fine. But when the first Gulf War started, I was called to active duty and I had a baby. And they said, when can you find a babysitter? And I said, Monday. They said, well, see you at work on Monday.
Wow, that that had to be quite a shock. What was your duty? What was your job posting?
Well, by that time, I was a chapel manager. In between that, my first job was in electronics, and that didn't work out real well. And then the public affairs guy said, Aaron, I want you to work for me. So I worked for him for a year and a half and got published and everything. And then Big Air Force said, we paid to have you be in electronics, so you're going to go back to electronics. And that's when I decided to go into the reserves.
Oh, okay. And what exactly did you do at chapel? What was
a chapel manager? You support the chaplain, and you there usually is only one chapel, so you have to have it set up for Protestant, and then you reset it up for Catholic. So that's what I did, and I helped support the chaplain. During, like, we had those 2 weeks, I would support the chaplain if you need, help him set appointments and things like that.
That's actually very interesting because of the show that we just put on right before this recording aired, our celebration of the Spirit. What were some of the differences that you learned about the way that people celebrate in different cultures?
Are we talking about for the 4th now, or what?
Oh, no, any of them. What were some of the things that you had to take and prepare, like, for different things? Let's go for an easy one. Christmas.
Well, I never worked during Christmas, so I was kind of sheltered in one little space, and we were in Virginia, and my husband deployed quite a bit. As a matter of fact, he was deployed when I had my second baby, but or actually he was in Japan when I had my second baby. So we spent a lot of time with him being gone, and then I would be gone with my business, so it equaled out. We took care of each other. We took care of our kids.
That really leads us to our story and what you really wanted to, in which we're going to get on with Mary Kay here in a minute, because that's a huge part of what you do. But your husband is a huge part of your mission, and that's making sure that men take care of themselves and get checked.
Exactly.
Your husband has stage 4 prostate cancer.
That's true, and it means it metastasized through his whole body. So it's in all his bones. But that's 9 years, and one of his very favorite things to do is to take care of the grandkids. So we have a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old. So he's there at 6:30 in the morning to make sure they get off to camp or school, and he's been doing that ever since we got here. So he really loves that part of his life.
One of the things that I really wanted to get across when we were talking about this was your husband one of those types that, I don't feel good, but I'm a man and I can take it and I don't need to worry about myself? Or was he very proactive when he went to go get checked?
Well, he was proactive when he went to get checked because he called his boss, who happened to be a retired urologist, and the doctor said, go to the emergency room right away. So when we found out it was stage 4 cancer, we started to speed things up. My daughter got married in 6 weeks. She had a baby. She and her husband wanted my husband to be a grandpa. But one of the main things I wanted to talk about with prostate cancer, it's a very, very simple check. It's not one that guys like, but they did not check him for 5 years. And during that time, the cancer was developing, and we didn't see it until it was too late.
They've got other the pre-screenings to where you have like the boxes that they send you and stuff like that. How accurate have those been in in with what you're doing, have you noticed that those have been pretty accurate?
I have, but his numbers, that doesn't measure the men's numbers or anything, and his numbers were off the chart. So, but like I said, women go through different exams also that we don't necessarily want to do, but we get that done too. But nobody said you should get checked for 5 years because he was young. He was in his 50s at the time. And no one, at that time, the AMA or whoever it was didn't bring it up. They just said you don't have to get checked because it's not a comfortable check. And he was not checked for 5 years.
Women, for like breast cancer checks, you women have things like buddy check, to where you can hold yourselves accountable. Obviously, guys aren't going to ask another guy to perform this check.
Right.
I don't have any friends that are that close. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
And I don't think that would happen. What could guys do, Jeanette, to make sure that our friends are still getting checked, even though we're not going to be the ones actually doing the buddy check? What are some of the things that maybe guys could do to make sure that they're holding their friends accountable?
We're just talking about it instead of keeping it a secret. I mean, we tell everybody about his cancer, so it gives them an opportunity to realize, oh, I could get it too. So I think that part, but talking, listening, and just really spreading the word. As an example, September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and hardly anybody knows that. But in October, it's breast cancer check or whatever, and everybody knows about Pink October, but they don't know about Teal September. And that's something to really just get out as much as we can. We just have to talk about it. It takes conversation, and just as a reminder, hey, go get checked, and that usually helps. And then they can follow up. Their friends can follow up and say, hey, how was it? Did you go through with it? And if they didn't, then you need to remind them to go again. And because I think insurance pays for it, but if it comes to it, like there was somebody else that I know that went through it and the insurance wasn't going to cover it, and it was $100, which for some people that is a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. But it's better than not getting checked and then finding out you have cancer. So it's worth $100.
I don't particularly like scaring people, but I think sometimes it's an effective tool in getting guys to understand what's the potential here. What are some of the things that your husband is dealing with right now?
Well, he gets a shot every month in his stomach for the last 9 years, and it was every month. Plus, he takes some cancer pills. In the beginning, they were like $240 a pill. So now he's able to go to the VA, and that's taken care of. But we were blessed to have two insurance. He has his retirement insurance, which is TRICARE, and now he's got Medicare because he's old enough to have Medicare. So I think really people need to apply for that. If there's Medicaid for some people that have no income, there's Medicaid. So there is always a way to get help.
He contracted this due to the burn pits in his service.
That's correct. That's where they burn bodies and plastics and everything all together. And that fumes and everything is affecting a lot of our military at a younger age. It's almost like Vietnam with Agent Orange.
Agent Orange, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we just lost my uncle due to cancer from Agent Orange.
Oh,
I'm very familiar with that. My uncle was one of the greatest men. He was one of my favorite. He's one of my heroes. Okay, and and that man took that cancer and basically walked around with his middle finger up at it. I'm living my life. I'm living my best life. You may make me sick, but you don't control me. And so he, that didn't mean that he had an easy time with it. but he wasn't going to let, cancer dictate his life. Cancer was going to take part of his life, but it wasn't going to dictate his life. Is your husband the same way?
Oh, absolutely. He, like I said, he helps grandkids get ready in the morning, and then we pick them up together and help. Well, even though their parents work from home, they can't get out of the office until it's time to get off. So we're there to help them, and we have dinner together as a family around the table. So it's a really special thing that we're able to do. And he talks about cancer to the grandkids. I mean, not the 3-year-old, but to the 8-year-old. So he kind of understands a little bit about what's going on too. But again, it's just so important that men get checked, and women need to be checked too. But if a man did not serve in the military and he still got prostate cancer, the relative thing that goes on is if he has girls, for children, they can grow up, and the kind of what can happen medically if the man has prostate cancer, like I said, not from burn pits, but he just has cancer, that reflects into the breast cancer for women. So they should check. They should really make sure they're checked, because it is a possibility that it passed on to the kids.
So women, that's extremely important. Remember, just because you don't have a prostate does not mean that your children are not out in the clear. You yourself may need, if your father struggled with prostate cancer, you should go get checked. Let me ask you this, and I don't know if you want to divulge this information, but instead of us just talking about your husband in generalities, can we get his name, please?
I'm sure. I'll give you his first name is Craig.
Craig? Okay. Yeah, that's much better. Now we can talk about Craig instead of just your husband. So I kind of felt a little bit guilty there for a second. I'm like, okay, I never even asked his name. So, and we've had to redo this interview because of the technical issues. But Craig, and first and foremost, I want to congratulate him on the way that he is doing this, because grandkids, my grandkids were just here last week, and they are so important in my life, and I wasn't feeling well because I'm having issues with the medication myself, and it made life much easier when they were there. So I love the fact that that's what he's doing to make himself happy, is being able to play with the grandkids. You as a caregiver, and I know that this is something that you do gladly, but what are some of the things, Jeanette, that you have to do for yourself?
Actually, he's able to. I'm not really a caretaker. I'm bipolar, and he takes care of me, which is amazing. There's not necessarily. I mean, I have to remind him, sometimes that he has to make sure he's checked and that sort of thing. But he knows all of his appointments. He's very good at keeping all of his appointments, and he has so many different doctors, and he knows what to do. And like I said, it's been 9 years now, so we're very, very blessed.
No. I know that that's one of the curses about being a caregiver, is that you're not taking enough credit, because you do a lot for him. But I'm not going to press you about it. But I know one of the things that you do for yourself is you help women feel better about themselves. You've been with Mary Kay for over 40 years.
Yes, that is correct. And I had my first facial when I was in high school, and I didn't really think anything of it. And then after being in the military, working with, it was 21 guys to every one woman in the electronics field. And that's when I decided I had to find a different culture where I can be around women. I mean, we pray before meetings. It's faith, family, then career. And you don't see that when you work for somebody else. When we work for ourselves, we can all join together and make it better. So I'm very thrilled that I'm able to have the opportunity to work with Mary Kay and to help women have that transformation. they go back home and their husbands are like, "Oh, you're so pretty," and just not that you have to wear makeup to look pretty, but I compare it to a beautiful piece of wood, and when you stain it, it brings out the beauty of the wood. So when someone puts on a lipstick, it changes how they feel, And I wear the eyeshadows. I teach them how to put the eyeshadows on and the blush. But that lipstick, especially during World War II, women were wearing red lipstick. I don't know how that all came about, but lipstick, cosmetics, alcohol, and tobacco are the three things that are recession proof, because those three things will be, people won't leave that alone. And really for us, it's just it's the cosmetic part, because we're not real drinkers or smokers or anything like that. So we're very fortunate that we didn't close down. Actually, we closed down, Mary Kay closed down, I think, for about 11 days. And they were able to rehook up all their equipment to make hand sanitizer. So because of that, the company was able to come back open. So we didn't even feel the blimp, really. We just, it was such a shock during COVID. But if they had to close the doors forever, that would have been a very difficult thing for us to do.
That's really interesting, because back in Prohibition, Coors switched to milk. So
Oh,
successful companies rolled with the punches. Yeah,
yeah.
Coors went to bottling and selling milk during Prohibition. Adolf wasn't going to just sit
Okay.
there and let his company go under
Mhm.
water. And he lives, that he started it here in Colorado, where there's dairy farms everywhere. So, but yeah, that's one of the that's great to hear that Mary Kay is one of those companies that, what, we're not just going to survive, but we're going to serve a need, and we're going to, we're going to succeed by serving a need. And to me, that's important, because you're
Yes.
not only doing something for your company, but you're doing something for your community at the same time.
Oh, yes. And what happened was they gave cases of these hand sanitizers to the top people in the company, and they were to go out to the front line and give these bottles of hand sanitizer. So there wasn't really a charge. The company sent these to the directors, and their job was to go out and help other people, especially the front line.
That's that it's really truly inspiring to hear, because like I said, I love hearing when people take and they realize that there is a desperate need of something, and they move forward to make sure that that desperate need is met. You went from wearing no makeup at all to where this is you now. This is what you enjoy doing. This is what makes you happy. Obviously, it makes you happy. You've been doing it for over 40 years. What is the
Yes.
best thing about your day?
Well, even for me, when I'm getting ready, the first thing I do is put on my makeup, because it just makes me feel better. And if I can do that just to one person, then it's worth my time. And that's what Mary Kay always said, the way you help other people is going to make a big difference. And to pass it on. She had retired from her own sales position for 20 years. She actually trained men, and they went above her. And she asked, why is that happening? And they would say, well, Mary Kay, they have kids to raise. And she's thinking, I have kids to raise. So she knew it was time to retire. And then she opened up her own business with $5,000. And unfortunately, her biggest supporter was her husband. And a month before the company was to open on Friday the 13th, he fell over and died on the kitchen table. So the kids, her grown kids said, Mom, we're going to do it anyway, and we're going to help. So that was just really a special thing. And we opened on Friday the 13th, 1963.
Wow. Yeah, I've never heard that story. So, what about the tutorials and the education of women? Is it just the application, or is it helping women maybe find the right color or what works for them? Do you even get involved with that unless they ask you to?
Oh no, we can actually do it. We have a beautiful website that there is a foundation finder, so we can help her find the color if we're virtual, which I prefer virtual because I live in near Miami and I don't like the traffic. So there's a foundation finder, and then there's a Mirror Me, which means they can try on the colors virtually, and it will show them what they look like in those pictures, and then we can help them, show them how to put it on and that sort of thing. But first thing is matching up, and that's where those tools that Mary Kay invented that will help others to find virtually what they need. And then we have the website, and they place the orders, and we help them. We might say, well, that might not be the right product for you. How about if you try this one instead? So we are trained. Our back office is wonderful. And then at least once a year, we have a seminar where they'll teach us. We all come together and they teach us and train us and motivate us with speeches of people that you're thinking, how did she get there? And it's just all how much willpower you have and how much discipline you have, because there's no glass ceiling in Mary Kay at all. There's not. And that's why she wanted to have a company for women. And because of that, we've had to let men come into the company too, because out of fairness, it wasn't closed to men, but we only have like a handful of men that sell Mary Kay. But it is possible for a man to come into the company.
There are very, very successful men, and who apply makeup to women. There are very, very successful men who do this. And so, I mean, I would be terrible at it, me personally. Yeah. You ask me what matches, and I would say not yellow. I,
But
but
you found your own vision of what works for you, and that's so important.
yeah. Um, People hear Mary Kay, and there are certain things with Mary Kay that people think, well, this is all that comes of it. You're going to get the car, whatever. What are some of the other benefits that somebody with Mary Kay is going to receive?
Well, I've earned 8 diamond rings. You get one. You have to bring up your sales production. They don't just give it to you. You have to earn it. And same thing with the car. You have to earn the use of the car, and they pay taxes, and insurance, and that's for directors to earn. But only 1% of the company actually gets a car, because you do have to keep up production and that sort of thing. So, but that just to even get the opportunity to get a car is kind of interesting, to earn a car, not just get it, they earn it.
Yeah, but and that's the reason why I didn't really want to bring up the car itself. I was more interested in you, Jeanette. What are some of the experiences and some of the things that you feel like you've gotten out of your 40 years of being with this company?
Well, it's never quit, because quitters never win. And I learned that the hard way, because there was a time where I didn't know I'd be able to continue on. But back to the prizes, I mean, to get a ribbon was a big deal when I first started Mary Kay, to get like a red ribbon, kind of like you got at the fair. If you were high sales, you got a ribbon. She might have other trinkets. And because you have a sales director, they also have what's called the adoptee program. So if, like my director, if her consultants really are out of town, they'll go to that person's, leadership meeting, and then vice versa. So we call it the adoptee system, where you take care of somebody else's person and somebody else is going to take care of your person. And it works. I don't think there's any other company that has the adoptee system either.
Have you had the chance to help women who are battling with illness? And What were some of the things that you felt at that time?
Well, and recently, one of my friends' wives got cancer, so I just gave him a goodie bag of moisturizers and things that I thought that she would need. There is a program called Look Good, Feel Good, and it's not in this area yet, so that's something that I would like to help start to get into this area because again, a lot of women lose their hair when they go through cancer, but if we can show them how to wear their makeup, they're going to feel better about themselves.
There are tons, and I think that this is one of the reactions of women really wanting to step out and prove that they're not just looks. But I mean, there are so many women out there right now who are proving that you don't have to have the fabulous hair to be a great, a wonderful looking person, and so I like what the sound of that program. Is there any way that we could possibly help you get that started?
Well, I need to talk to the company when I go to a seminar this year and see, what's all involved, and then I definitely will let you know because I feel like it is a great program.
I would absolutely love to see how we can get behind maybe bringing that to you, because I think that is a wonderful look. You said it earlier. If you look good, you feel good, and I know that there are women who wake up in the morning, roll out of bed, and look perfect. They can do that, but
Yes.
it never hurts to add a little something, and
Right.
and and I believe that every woman looks perfect no matter what they do. So
I hear them.
with the exception of doing exactly what you were talking about, not staining wood but slathering on a bunch of paint, then
Yeah,
I'm
that's.
not so much.
I agree
don't
with you.
don't paint the wood. A nice stain is fine, but I always hearken back to Mimi on the Drew Carey show with the "Don't paint the wood."
Oh,
Her character was just so funny. But uh, back to Craig. What are some of the things that we can do to help him?
well, with him, just being able to spread the word is so important. To know that, 1 in 8 men get prostate cancer, so everybody needs to get checked. And I think that's really the important thing for him is to make sure. And also, I mean, to take his pain and offer it up. We're prayerful people, and to say a prayer and just realize that somebody else has it worse, and because his hair was gray when he was working, and it's not gray anymore. It's just regular color. He never lost his hair with the treatments, but it went from gray to normal color because he decided to be happy, and that's not easy for everybody, but making that decision to be happy versus, oh, woe is me, go out and help somebody else. Like when we lived in Tallahassee, I worked at a food bank and it was a volunteer job. And it made me feel better that I could help somebody else in need. So that's the kind of thing. I think humans are made to be socially together. And during that time, you can do something good for somebody else.
I I just wrote this down because I think it is so inspiring, and I think it's a beautiful way that you stated this. He decided to be happy. I love that. I think that's a beautiful statement. I think that is a beautiful statement.
Yeah.
So, again, I congratulate Craig on everything that he is continuing to do, because he truly does sound like my Uncle Barry. My Uncle Barry was not going to let this thing that was going to eventually take his life, he wasn't going to let it win. You
Right.
know, it like I said, he knew that it was going to take his life, but he wasn't going to let it take him,
Yes.
and that's just who he was, and I see that in what you talk about, Craig. Let's you mentioned you're bipolar. Jeanette, what do you do to take care of yourself on a day that you're dealing with And maybe if you're not feeling great when you're out doing a duty with Mary Kay, how do you deal with the bipolar
Well,
on those days?
you're either up or you're down. My main thing is to
Hmm.
work really hard to be in the middle. And I see a therapist and I have medication. So it helps and it makes a big difference. And you have to know, again, it's making that decision. But he was there to help me out and realize that some people need help. And it's okay not to be okay. And you just have to know that don't feel guilty about it. Just know that it's okay not to be okay. And if you can step out of that, step out of yourself, there's always somebody that needs something.
Yeah. You also mentioned earlier that there are people out there who have it worse. Do that's something that Craig truly believes? Do you believe the same?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I know I have my hard days, but people out there have harder days. There's people born, with I mean, this guy, he's a comedian. He was born without arms and without legs. And and I can't remember his name, but he's happy too. He chooses to be happy and entertain people because he's really funny, but he was born without arms and without legs. And I don't know how in the world he got through that, but he's very successful in what he does now in a comedy routine.
I think I've actually seen him before, and I think yeah, I love comedy anyway. I like trying to be a funny guy. I at least think I'm a funny guy, but I like trying to make people laugh. I think that's a great thing. And you get people like Brad Williams who, he was born short, and he loves to, his little thing is he's got the Snickers mini size behind him, and most of his jokes are about him. He jokes about being able to go on a flight with the Air Force, and he was given that opportunity, and for a person of smaller stature, he said, yeah, that was really very interesting because they had to struggle to get him, you know, buckled in and everything, and so, but uh, is there anything, I've just got two more questions for you. The first question is there anything any of us can do to help out yourself, Craig, your family?
Pray, and that's not for everybody, but just give help somebody else. If that's the most important thing. Just if you're not near us, help somebody else, and it's going to make you feel better too. It's going to make you both feel better. And laughter is the best medicine, right? You just kind of briefly said that, but it really is, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah, very much so. I honestly, I truly believe that. And what, Jeanette, are you offering people that you can help them with right now?
Well, I know people are calling from all over, and I'd like to be able to send samples if that's something that they're interested in. I'll leave my information with you. And if somebody is interested in hearing more, I'm more than happy to talk to them about it.
Yep, we will connect to all of your information on the screen, and it'll be in the information down below. Jeanette, coming up on February 22nd, we have the fifth annual Mission for Healthy Heroes. I would love to have you. And if Craig would like to join us, I would love to have you on. That's our 22-hour marathon podcast where we talk about mental health and just the health and safety of our heroes, in which, you know what, truth is, every one of us is a hero to someone. So it's about our mental health and how we can help other people. I would love to have you, and if Craig would like to join us, I'd love to have you both on. Otherwise, I would love to invite you if you have any specials coming up or you have anything that you would like to talk about.
Okay, I really appreciate that. That sounds like a wonderful opportunity, and I'm available really at any time you have a last minute cancellation. You're welcome to call me.
That sounds great. And I'm pretty sure that any other podcasters out there, if you would like to get a hold of Jeanette, please reach out to me. I'd gladly make an introduction. I'm sure her message, I know her message should be spread around the world. So if you reach out to me, I will make sure that you get a chance to meet her. Jeanette Dethridge, thank you so very much for joining us today. How do people get a hold of you?
Well, the best way is through my website, and that's www.marykay.com/Jeanette D.
Okay. All right. We will, again, all that information will be in the information below. Please like, share, subscribe, and contact Jeanette if you're looking to look better, feel better, or if you're looking for maybe just a little bit of addition to your income. There's always opportunities available for people.
Yes, that's correct.
So, Jeanette Dethridge is here on Footprints Forward. Jeanette, thank you for helping us move people in a forward direction. Thank you for your story. Thank you for Craig. Please, to all of you, our hearts are with you. Our thoughts are with you. Thank you very much for joining us.
That's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. We will be right back. Every Friday, people across the country put on red for one reason: to honor the women and men who left the comfort of home so we can live freely. These shirts are not about politics. They are not about a war. They are not about religion. They are about gratitude. They are about respect. They are about remembering everyone deployed. When you purchase one, you help us launch the Come Together Compass, a program built to guide families and heroes to the support that they need. Wear your pride, wear your gratitude, support Red Friday. Remember everyone deployed. So we were just talking about like the age differences and everything else in the celebration of celebrations of spirit earlier, and it was kind of weird. You know, I remember watching like Toy Story 1 and 2 back with I think it was Oob. I don't know, one of the two. I know Justice or Free was definitely Lion King. So I think it was probably Oob that I watched it. And I just watched a video with my New Jersey Devils. And they were doing an ode to Toy Story thing. And the lady would say, Andy's coming. And all of a sudden the skaters would fall to the ice. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I kind of forgot that's what happens with Buzz and Woody. Somebody would say Andy's coming, they would fall to the ice because they can't let him be known that they're, it's a funny thing. Actually makes the video a hell of a lot funnier when you're watching it and you actually understand what's going on. Justice Dethridge, thank you so very much for your story, your honesty. Craig, this is from us to you, my friend. I hope I get to talk to you soon. Please, if there's anything that we can do in support of you, please let us know. You served our country. You served us as, you served our humanity. And if there's anything that we can do to continue your healing, we will do our very best to make sure that you're out there. Couple things. You are going to start seeing a video here pretty soon, folks. Business owners, you can join the Community Pay It Forward program for as little as $20 a month. $20 a month to make a difference. We need you. We need your help. We need to start making this. We need to start making a push. All right? We've got a lot of people who are out there who are going to be looking for help. Imagine this. People start walking through your doors because you're offering the assistance that people are needing. We all know things aren't the greatest right now. Could you imagine making your business available to everyone to be able to donate to something that they love, you can do that for $20 a month. Please reach out to me. Zach, Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us. Z-A-K, at communitypayitforward.us. You can also reach me on my new phone number. There's only one phone number now. We got rid of the 2 phone number BS. Now there's only one. 970-692-1151. 970-692-1151. Please text before you call. If I'm in a busy spot, I cannot answer the phone. I will not answer the phone. If I cannot give you my full undivided attention, I am not going to answer the phone. I can't do it. So please, please, please make sure that you text me and say, hey, this is so-and-so. I'm about ready to give you a phone call. And I will answer. We can make a plan to make sure that we get together and we're able to help each other. I, again, want to wish everyone out there fighting the Colorado and Utah fires my entire heart. I want to thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for being who you are, for being the heroes that we need you to be. Good luck. Please be careful. We want you to get home to your families. Your families miss you, and we want to make sure that you get home. Please, folks, again, if we missed a holiday that you celebrate in July, reach out to me. We can talk about that celebration. Not only can we talk about it, we can tell people about it, what it means to your culture, what it means to you as a person. We can share that with others, and maybe we can get people to join you in your celebration. If you have a celebration that I can come to, if it's in northern Colorado, please invite me. I would love to come and check some of these out. I will respectfully sit quietly and just... You tell me what I need to be, who I need to be when I get there. I will be very respectful and very curious. I will ask a lot of questions, I will tell you that. So, but please, let's make sure that celebration of the season continues. On the What You Got page, if you go to communitypayitforward.us and you type in up top what you got, there is a form. If you have a birthday, an anniversary, or a very special date coming up, and you would like me to say, hey, I would like to wish ... and ... and happy anniversary on air every morning, please do that. We need at least 5 days notice to do it. It's absolutely free. Right now, it's absolutely free. But donations are gladly accepted and greatly appreciated. Folks, we got one more thing, and this is vitally important. Right now, and I know I'm a broken record, right now, we have a brand new toy that's still in the box because we can't afford the batteries. The Come Together Compass is ready to go. We need your help to buy those batteries. Let's donate, please. We need your help. The compass can be here to reach our goal of helping everyone. Thank you for joining us today for Footprints Forward. My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Come Together Compass. So difficult after 12 years to switch that up. The Come Together Compass, Fact Podcasting Networks. Please love someone out there because someone out here loves you. Always remember, there are people out there suffering. And if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. No one needs to go it alone when you've got a smile to give. When you've got a story to tell. When you've got ears to listen. when we all come together. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow night for Community Impact on our new night, Tuesday night. But as of now, whether you're on community or on the PAC channel networks or our friends on Things Network, thank you for joining me. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I'd love to talk to you more. And businesses, $20 a month, and you can become the new wave of giving. Thank you very much, folks. Let's do this. Be nice to each other, because you know what? We're all we've got. What if your story could power a movement? Every struggle you have conquered becomes the answer someone else is still searching for. At Community Pay It Forward, your mission matters. When someone shops with one of our giving partners, they can choose to support you simply by uploading a receipt. Your story gets shared, you get visibility, and you can share our program to raise up to 90% in referral awards. You have a story worth sharing. We're here to help you tell it. Apply today by using the QR code or at communitypayitforward.us. Because your story deserves to be shared. And at Community Pay It Forward, no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Community Pay It Forward isn't just another rewards program. It's a movement built on compassion and connection. We link everyday businesses, nonprofits, and neighbors, so simple actions like buying lunch, getting your car fixed, or hiring a service can create lasting impact. When you choose one of our giving partners, part of your purchase goes directly to families, veterans, children, or community missions in need. It doesn't cost you a dime more. It just means your purchases matter. Because here, every transaction tells a story. And our belief is simple. If you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. Because at Community Pay It Forward, no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.
What's our sales potential? We're all selling a product, service, or idea to someone. How would we see our life when we maximize our performance and profit? When we connect with our potential that we were designed into us? It allows us to experience not only our work, but also our relationships at an enjoyable level. The workshop and assessment give us a chance to get reacquainted with who we were designed to be by the universe or God or whatever our belief system. The 3-hour workshop is separated into 3 days so our brain can absorb the new motivation and behavior change. J.W. Wilson, my mentor and author of Cracking the Learning Code, was not only known as a world leader in this science, he built $21 million businesses and taught Mayo Clinic's doctors to connect with their patients, among many other things. This is Les Simpson of Enhanced Team Performance. Below in the details is a flyer of the workshop, also with white paper and testimonial of the assessment. Included is a video link to my assessment. It shows who we are in all 6 areas of our life and was created in the 80s and was proprietary to the Fortune 500 for 30 years. Now I'm bringing it to companies and individuals that want to maximize their work and relationships. Get back with my team leader that sent you this video to join their workshop.